What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. So I just got back from Miami yesterday. I threw out two plays in the VIP, and we went 2 for 2. So in March, we had an amazing month. I have to still run the numbers, but I believe it was around 30 units. We will continue to push. There's a lot of shift going on here from the playoffs in the NBA going into baseball. So there's a lot of shifts that are going to be happening. I am going to be doing live betting for NBA throughout the playoffs. So if you haven't taken advantage of that, in the pinned comments as well. I'm going to give you guys one play that I really like in the NBA in this video. So before I give you guys the play, let me just kind of go through the slate real quick. There is a lot of games in baseball. There's also a lot of games in the NBA today. So a lot of the things that you have to be careful with the NBA is that they're very close to the playoffs. And even I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. The motivation factor is very dramatic in the NBA. I'm going to break down exactly what I see today, and then I'm going to give you one parlay. So very quickly, I'm going to go through the slate, and then I'll tell you exactly what I'm going with. So just so you can see, this tool that I'm using is called the SharpEdge. There's 2 weeks for free if you want to check that out. The link is in the description for that. Okay, so Orlando is at home. They're going against Atlanta, which Atlanta is rested. New York Knicks is played yesterday, and then Memphis is rested. Toronto played yesterday, and the Kings is rested. And then Milwaukee and Houston, they both played yesterday, so there is no advantage as far as the 1 day rest advantage. But whenever you see that two teams have played yesterday and they're playing today, what that means is that you're going to want to look on the under, because what that means is that they both played yesterday and one of them traveled. So that's already automatically you want to look on the under for those type of games. Now, it's very different because I said like the motivation factor, the blowout factor. There's a lot of teams that are supposed to be winning by like 20 points. As for example, here, the 76ers, it's the projected score is 130 to 112. So you can see the 76ers are supposed to win by 18. And then you got the Magic on a back-to-back with the Hawks on the 1 day rest advantage. And this looks to be too close to call, so 118 each. And then we got the Celtics versus the Heat. The Celtic, this is what I'm talking about with the playoffs. The Celtics are pretty much locked in. The Heat is not. So those motivation factors have to come into your projections. Anyways, it says here Celtics is supposed to win by 4. You got the Knicks on a back-to-back. However, it says that they're supposed to win by 13. I know the Grizzlies have pretty much been tanking for a couple of weeks now. You got the Raptors on a back-to-back. However, it says that they're supposed to win by 15. The Kings, we've been fading them pretty much all season. They just completely suck, and they've been tanking for weeks now. The Pacers, same deal. They're still winning games somehow, but they're completely tanking. The Bulls, it says they're supposed to win by 4. Rockets are on a back-to-back. They're supposed to win by 18. And then the Nuggets are supposed to win by 20. And this is one of the situations where I've been talking about as well, is I actually want to take the Jazz to fade the Nuggets because the Nuggets are already coasting. They've already locked in their position. So what you want to do in this case, you can buy back the Jazz. Do not take them at the current line. What I'm actually doing is I'm actually taking Houston. I'm buying that back around 10 points, and then I'm taking the Jazz, and I'm buying that up about 20 points. So I think the spread was like minus 20. I'm actually buying it back to like minus 30. I hope that makes sense. If not, leave a comment and I'll answer it. Here's the other team that I like today is the Spurs going against the Warriors. And I'll actually just start talking about the play now. Before I continue, guys, make sure you subscribe. I give out these sorts of posters every single day. What this is, these are not final plays. These are just hot streaks. So every player you see on this board has hit their line consistently. For example, this guy, Trey Jones, has hit this 24.5, 6 straight games in a row, and so on. I'm not going to go through every single one of these. Make sure you take a screenshot, but also subscribe because we post these posters on YouTube, Instagram, and X. Same thing with the shots on goal. We do the same thing. We post these posters every single day. All right, now for the 2-leg parlay that I'm going to hook you guys up with. I like the 76ers in this position, and I like the Spurs in this position. Again, it goes back to the motivation factor. I'm not going to go too crazy into these details, but just know that 76ers is they have something to shoot for today. So 76ers are actually not even in the playoffs. They're fighting very hard. They're what's considered on the bubble. What this means is that they pretty much have to win every game in order to be considered to even go and try to challenge the other teams that are on the bubble as well. So they definitely want to win this game. And the Wizards is the team that they have to beat, which the Wizards are just complete fucking trash. So it's looking very good for the 76ers today. That's why the spread is all the way at minus 16. I'm definitely not taking that number. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm taking it with. But just know that it's minus 16 is an extremely large number, even if they're playing the Wizards. So just be careful with that. Do not take them on this minus 16. That is not what I'm going with. Just a few more pointers here. Just a few more pointers here on this expert insights. You can see that the 76ers have hit this. They've been winning a lot of games. So you can see in their last 16 games versus bottom 10 scoring defenses, which the Wizards definitely are, they're hitting at around a 90% hit rate. And then you got the Wizards on the other side is going to go on the under, which I'm not touching the over-unders. But then you just see the overall score here. The 76ers actually have a very decent squad, but they did lose a lot of games early on because of injuries. But the win probability also is telling you here 96% chance that they win this game. So anyways, the first leg of this is going to be the 76ers, and I'll give you the exact slip when I explain the next game. Next game I like also is the Spurs versus the Warriors. The Warriors are pretty much tanking at this point. They have 9 different players on the injury report, and you can see the overall picture. The Spurs are very heavily favored over here. They're supposed to win this by 16 points. The win probability, they're supposed to win by 94%. And just check out all the injuries over here. They got pretty much 9 different people on the injury report. And then you got the Spurs over here fully healthy. Now, just know that even though 76ers do want to win this game, they're not going to be, I don't think they're going to be blowing them out. So that's the reason I'm buying these back. Both games that I just showed you, I'm going to be buying them back points. And I'm going to tell you, like I said, exactly what I'm going with. So the two teams that I really like today is going to be the Spurs and the 76ers. They're both very highly motivated to win today. One of them, Spurs, is for the number 1 seed, and the 76ers is to just even be in the play-in bubble for the playoffs. So again, guys, I'm going to give you the slip, but make sure you take advantage of the free picks. We throw out a lot of free picks. Like these last couple of days I was traveling, so I didn't have a chance to make a video, but I threw some plays out in the free picks. So make sure you take advantage of that. Also, check out the VIP section. You got the 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. Also, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Get the Discord. It's 7 days for free. And then the SharpEdge is actually 2 weeks for free, which is that tool that I just showed you. And here's the slip, guys. I'm going to go with the Spurs. I'm buying it back at the minus 7.5. I highly believe they're going to win this game, especially with all the injuries on the Warriors side. But I don't think they're going to cover this huge spread of minus 17.5. Same thing with the 76ers. I think they have a super easy chance on winning this game. Actually, both of these teams have a 90 to 95% chance they're going to win the game. But I highly doubt that they're going to cover these huge spreads. That's the reason I'm buying them back at least, I think it's between 9 and 10 points on each game. I'm doing that for both teams in order to get better odds. You can see I was able to do this on FanDuel for a minus 114. All right, guys, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys. We're about to hit 5,000 subscribers. Make sure to subscribe. Check out the links in the description. I really do appreciate you all. Let's have a great day.